my God, I can't believe I forgot how to do this. All right. Hi, Tanzania. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. Welcome to yet another episode of Hello, Tanzania. As always, I'm your girl, Lucinda, and I have a very private-like guest. So let's hope I am able to break him today because, yeah, I know we say that off camera, but I'm gonna do my best to break you. So, guys, with me today is Montey. I'm gonna let you introduce yourself. So just tell our audiences, tell me who you are, what you do. Use your government name.
All right. Hello. Is it Hello Tanzania?
Yes, it's Hello Tanzania. You have to say it with like a flair.
Like a flair.
Yeah.
Hello Tanzania.
Yeah, something like that.
My name is Montey. I am a CEO of Belco Partners, which is a real estate company, but I'm also the co-host of MOD podcast, which is right here. I'm wearing it. And I'm also the founder of Connectors Club. MOD podcast is a podcast that empowers people to shape their future, meaning that what we do is basically have conversations with different people to try get the audience to get a thing or two that will help them make their own destinies. And then we have Connectors Club, which was founded after MOD podcast because we got a lot of hype of people saying, now we've heard the conversations, but we want to see action. So we came up with Connectors Club, which basically connects people or bridges the gap with people from different areas and create opportunities and keep people in a community of like-minded individuals. And then there's also some other things that I do.
I feel like it's very, you've put it so broadly.
Okay.
Right? This is like, when we use jargon, when you're trying to find money for sponsorships of a project, that's what you've done with me. Give me details.
Which one do you want to start with?
What do you discuss on the podcast? What type of topics do you pursue? For example, with us on Hello Tanzania, this is, geared towards returning Tanzanians coming back home, resettling and the like. So what type of conversations do you guys have that help us shape our destinies? What destinies are we shaping?
So I believe everyone has their own destiny to make. Everyone has something they want to fulfill or reach a certain goal. And we interview guests from different industries, different areas. For example, we interviewed Montey, who's currently the Deputy Minister of Sports. We interviewed Salum Awad, who's in finance. We've interviewed people who are Leonardo, who's a comedian, but also now is a businessman, as he says. We interview all of these people in different areas because we believe not everyone's focused just on finance. Not everyone's focused on just being a comedian. Everyone has their own path they want to go on. So us interviewing different people on our podcast is basically, for example, interviewing Leonardo. He's a comedian. That could potentially reach someone who wants to be a comedian but doesn't know the ins and outs of being a comedian or doesn't know the business side of it. So how does it work? How does this go about? So with Leonardo coming on our podcast and we interview him and get some questions out of him, break him up, as you said you want to do to me today, we get to understand him and they get to have a sense of, okay, so if we became a comedian through this channel, I could become a comedian. But also there's another thing that we look at too. We believe that in life you're gonna go through failures, you're gonna go through challenges. However, just because I went through a certain challenge does not mean you have to go through the same challenge.
Yeah, you can learn and avoid it.
So with us doing that podcast or the episode is that he could list out the challenges, or she could list out the challenges that they went through. Potentially I myself as the co-host, I could avoid.
Yeah.
Okay, so you registered for BizWide, you forgot to do your taxes.
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure that I do my taxes every single month. Things like that. So that's basically the type of conversations we have in our podcast.
So not so different from what we're trying to do here,
Okay.
right? Because everybody returns home at some point, but the experiences are different, right? We've had different guests right here talk about, opening up businesses, resettling into corporate workspaces. These are all experiences that a lot of us share, but there are those little challenges that we meet, there are those problems that we face and encounter. And so the whole purpose of having this conversation is, if you're coming back, you're coming to set up a business in Tanzania. Rather than come and start from scratch and hustle and deal with the headaches and all of that, why not listen to what Montey went through?
Okay.
Right? If you're coming back and you're struggling with, oh, devil's advocate, you're struggling with the whole family, extended family calling you, asking you for money, inviting you to all sorts of wedding committees, send-off committees, all of that, but you feel like, I don't know y'all like that. Why are you asking me for money? What even makes you think I have that kind of money? And there are all these perceptions that, tend to circulate, tend to be shared amongst people perhaps who haven't had the same opportunities, exposures, upbringing as you. So, somebody might take Lucy to be, oh, because she grew up there, she lived out there, she did 1, 2, 3, then she's probably rich. No, I'm not. I'm not from a rich family. I was blessed enough to have an opportunity. So I was able to learn from those experiences. So I come home and I'm getting all these calls. I'm struggling to juggle all these relatives, or I'm stepping into Tanzania's social scene, which is a whole other mammoth, by the way. Yo, guys, it's a whole other beast. So I'm struggling to, navigate the social scene. How do people relate to each other? What are the social nuances that I need to be aware of that are different from out there? And I'm still feeling left out. So if somebody else is coming and they're facing something like that, why not have a platform where we can discuss?
Talk about it.
Because my coping mechanisms were different from yours, different from the next person. Different backgrounds, different exposures, different social standings, and so forth. So let's sit together. Let's have a conversation. So that's basically what we're doing here. So our conversations have gone from, as I say, social scenes, family, corporate workspaces, starting up businesses. You have different age groups. You've got us, the millennials, coming home. You've got our parents who perhaps left when they were still young, lived outside, and they're coming home and thinking Tanzania is still as they left it. They could tap in where they left off when they moved and still, expect things. But Tanzania changes. Tanzania changes every second, by the way.
Very true.
Like, you would leave the country for 2 days and you come back and there are like 10 new slang words that you need to figure out.
True.
Right? So I understand what you're saying. So for us, it's heavily on, initially we wanted to do more lifestyle, because if you follow The Citizen, we do have, diaspora page where we talk about, the business side of being in the diaspora. But we rarely have the conversations where lifestyle is concerned. And whether we admit it or not, it makes up a larger portion of our experiences coming back home. I've had friends who wanted to come back after uni. I'm a tough cookie, so I've been able to, stand it out. But I have friends who came back and after a few months were like, absolutely not. I can't do this, So the experiences are there and we're not talking. So I know I talked about this a lot in the first season, just to give you a background of how this whole idea came into being. As you're saying, challenges, right? I faced so many challenges that I thought I was going crazy. Right. I've talked about my upbringing a lot, so I'm not going to hash that up, rehash it, or, but I was able to live in so many different communities, and I would adjust, I would adapt, I would manage. I would even learn languages. Like, I have learned over 7 languages, right? So that was never a problem. But then I came to TZ and this is home. But the TZ that I met in December for Christmas holidays is not the same TZ that is in January, February, March, April, May, June. You get. So I moved back and there's all these things that I'm failing to understand. What do you mean my Swahili is different? Are we not speaking the same language? Like, what did I miss? Right? I'm working and there are certain nuances at work that I'm like, oh, wait, I thought this was a corporate space. Why are we doing that? Why are we behaving like that? Shouldn't we do, So I got to a point where I was like, this is crazy. Why am I struggling to adapt in my own country, my own home? I would call my parents, my mom, and just vent and vent and vent. And my mom would be like, kwani umefukuzwa? Si urudi. Come back. I'm like, no, but like I want to experience Tanzania. I love it here. Like I've always loved it here. And I've always known that at some point I'm going to go back and settle down in TZ. So I have to make it work.
Yeah.
But I have to do it without feeling like I'm losing my mind, because Mama Intro is no quitter. So I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to go back. It's not an option, right? So I posted just one random day on my WhatsApp stories and Instagram. I was like, y'all, for those of you that came back, what were the expectations that you had for home? And what was the reality on the ground? And I can't lie, the responses, I was like, oh, so I'm not crazy. People opened up some things that I didn't even think were real. I'm like, you mean to tell me you experienced 1, 2, 3? How? I didn't even think that was possible. So there were so many experiences, and I was like, okay. So we actually have a conversation that we need to have, and everyone is dealing with stereotypes and perceptions and all of that, but we're not communicating. We're so isolated. We're dealing with these challenges and giving up when we could create a safe space for people to vent, but beyond venting, come up with solutions. So the next person moving home doesn't have to start from scratch. We have this platform on Spotify. We have it on YouTube. Watch the video, watch the interview, and make up your mind. Do you want to start a business? Do you want to go tapping into the corporate space? Do you think you will survive, clubbing in Sinza or Tabata? Oh, guys, don't come for me. Don't come for me. But yeah, so that was where this was birthed, right? So when I have people like you here, you have experienced both TZ, you've experienced both, living in Tanzania and outside the country. You've seen different cultures, different thought processes of these different people.
Yeah.
And so my first question to you would be, okay, wait, before we get to the questions, I want to know, my audience wants to know, first of all, like, because I've said you've experienced outside. What outside are we talking about?
So
Did
I
you
used to
grow
live
up here, born elsewhere, things along those lines?
So, as you said, I've lived both in Tanzania and the UK.
Yeah.
So I'd say it's about 50-50. I've lived half of my life here, half of my life in the UK. So I've had both experiences of living abroad and living in Tanzania.
And when you say both experiences, were these like long-term?
I started school, I'd say in Tanzania, from grade 1 up to grade 7. And then that's when I went to the UK and I did basically Form 1 and Form 2. And then I came back, I did Form 3 here, and then in Form 4, and then I went back. That's when I did college and uni, and then now I'm back. So it's about 7 years, 2 years, 2 years, 4 years, back again.
So I mean, in comparison to me, you actually have better experiences, better understanding or intimate knowledge of TZ, because I was gone. Once we were gone, until I moved back. Yeah. Until we moved back, So the Tanzania that I left and the Tanzania that I found, not the Tanzania I met over Christmas holidays.
Yeah.
The Tanzania that I came and found when I settled down is vastly different from what I thought it was. Every time you left and you came back, what kind of changes were you always meeting? Like you would leave and you're like, you would leave and you come back, you're like, I remember Tanzania was like this, like that. So you're expecting certain things based on your memory of them. And then would you come back and find certain changes? Friends have moved on. Friends have different lingo than you. So you need to catch up. You need to know the slang. You need to know the most happening places. how to get into these places, things like that. So what was your experience like?
I feel like I've always been connected to home. I've always been curious about home. So even when I was abroad, I'd, like, let's say for example, my friends or family were driving around, I'd literally ask to be on video call. Let me see what's going on. Let me see the country. Let me see. And every time I came back, when I landed in Tanzania, from the airport drive, from airport all the way to home, I'm not on my phone. I'll just be curious and looking around, like what has changed and what's going on. And you see progress in terms of the country developing. You see progress in terms of other things. I feel like you now see like more exposed people, more exposed, like the businesses. Now you see, because let's say for example, when I went, I was still young. So when I was growing older and I was coming back, it was more now I'm noticing businesses like, oh, this business does this business does that. So I started noticing more things that I was also noticing abroad. For example, there's matcha. You come Tanzania now, you know that there's a place to go get matcha. So you see things now are changing. Oh, bubble tea. You can see bubble tea in the UK. Now you come Tanzania, there's bubble tea. So it's like not very much different, but you're like, oh, things are really changing, and we're also getting very much exposed to things and to the things that we're seeing abroad. Now, when it comes down to work, that's a completely different story. The work experience is different. But in terms of changing, I feel like I've always been connected to home, even when I was not here.
On the aspect of like exposure, I think for me that was one of those culturally shocked things that I met, because as I said earlier, some of our parents left way back. So I think their thinking would be, people in Tanzania don't have that much exposure. So you come back in having been brought up in an environment that tells you that because you have English, because you have this exposure, it will be so easy to get a job. And then I come here and it is hard.
It is.
Because I learned pretty early on that you need to walk into that interview room with more than just your English.
That's very true.
Because if it comes to exposure, the international schools are doing it probably better than even the schools that I went to. Right?
Yeah.
So that is no longer an advantage in Tanzania.
True.
It is such a good thing that people have moved. But I think for a lot of, people that left way back who still have that mentality, it's such a culture shock.
It is.
It is such a culture shock, and it's always amusing when you see that people still think they're coming home to that kind of advantage. And you're speaking to somebody you thought wouldn't really understand or would be so impressed with your English, and then they respond to you in English, and you're like, oh, yeah, I stand corrected. Right? So, okay, that means, oh my God, I shouldn't censor myself. Okay. I might bring it up later. Now, let's go. Let's go to, as I say, the expectations versus the reality. That is now on the lifestyle aspect. What about as you were building your businesses? What was that like?
In terms of expecting versus reality?
Yeah.
I mean, ever since I was a kid, my father's always told me that life is not easy. Like, you have to work hard for the things that you want to achieve. And I've always have that sort of mentality that things are not going to be easy. However, as you said, you come from abroad, you have some sort of expectation that, whatever I'm going to go do, this is something that has not been done in Tanzania. So I believe when I go there, I'm going to make it work very easily, and I'm going to get this client, this client, this client, this client. For example, in my business, in the real estate business that I'm doing, one of the things that I've done that we're doing came from exposure. From me being abroad, I saw what they're doing, and I believe that what we're doing is also going to benefit people in the real estate market. So when we started, we had these, like, let's say 100 potential clients. We said, okay, we're going to go reach out to these clients, and okay, projected revenue, we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, because we're going to close these clients, because I believe if we pitch it well, we're going to get it. But you come and now you're going to pitch to them, they're doing it, so now you have to take a step back, like, okay, even if they're doing it, how am I supposed to position myself into this and make it better than whatever they're doing?
Yeah.
So I'd say that was one of the things, like you're doing, you see something that you're exposed to, you come home, you feel like it's gonna work, but
Somebody else is
also doing it,
Yeah.
but maybe it's just not out there that they're doing it.
Yeah.
So you have to sit back again and now really think of your game plan of what you're going to do.
Yeah.
So I guess the message that I could be sending to the audience that you said are thinking about maybe coming back to do a business in Tanzania is that even if you are very much exposed and you feel like you want to come do a business that is not done in Tanzania, I'd say spend some time to just do market research.
Yeah.
Research the market, make sure you research from A to Z that okay, even if they're doing it, end of the day, there's a lot of things that people are doing the same thing. And there's opportunities everywhere for you this person to make money, this person to make money, this person to make money. But if you go to all of these people, they have their own selling points.
Yeah.
So you have to sit back again, and then when you're doing the research and really evaluate, like, okay, how am I going to come into this space and be different? So that's what we had to do, and sit back again and try be different. But I'd say that's the biggest thing for me.
I think back on the aspect of exposure now, as you're building businesses and so forth, it's hard for young people today, right? I feel like young people are super hard on themselves now. And how do you navigate that? Do you feel like you're hard on yourself a lot as you're building? How do you balance that? How do you navigate that?
I don't disagree. I feel like our generation is very hard on themselves, but I feel like it's because of social media. Social media, to me, I believe, is a facade, because I could sit here and I'm going through TikTok or Instagram. I see a 20-year-old who has made it in life, is driving a Lamborghini, is driving a G-Wagon, and they're posting themselves. But the reality is, you don't know the truth behind it. Did they work hard for it? Did they rent it? Are they lying to you? Are they doing all of these things?
Is it just an advert?
Exactly. And also, we have coaches. They have to brand themselves to be able to sell or to get business.
Yeah.
So sometimes, for me personally, how I navigate it is that I'm 100% I am hard on myself, but I'm not hard on myself because of the social media part. I'm hard on myself because I believe I can achieve what I want to achieve. But the times I give myself grace is that sometimes you have to sit down and think about where you are versus where you were. And when I speak to my friends and I speak about it, maybe they'll be like, this is where you were last year. Look where you are now. Or for example, I have a podcast.
Yeah.
I do it in English as well. And Tanzania first language is Swahili. So it's hard to break into the audience, because at the end of the day, most of the comments is like, please do it in Swahili. I really love your podcast, but please do it in Swahili. However, we want to reach a broader audience and go about beyond East Africa.
Yeah.
So, for example, I'll be hard on myself, like, we haven't grown. But you look at last year versus this year, you're like, we have grown. Maybe we have had 30,000 extra followers. That's growth.
Yeah.
So for the way I navigate is that I sit down and I look at where I was versus where I am now. And I feel like that's what we don't do in this generation.
I mean, yeah, we do set resolutions, but do we actually go back and look at them? Yeah, but I feel like being hard on ourselves, well, me personally, being hard on myself has a lot to do with very unrealistic expectations that I had as far as coming to TZ was concerned, right? And I know theoretically, and I tell myself this a lot when I'm I'm looking at half calm what I've done. I tell myself, I'm like, you're being too hard on yourself. And then, so you know how you have like all these little, you asked me earlier if I think in English or not. It's because I have like all these multiple Lucy's in my head, and we sit and we have a staff meeting. We sit and we have a staff meeting. So in the staff meeting, there's one logical Lucy who's like, you're doing the best that you can. And then there's all these Lucy's that come in and they're like, you were supposed to do 1, 2, 3. You had said by the time you get to this age, you would have accomplished 1, 2, 3. You had said Tanzania would be like this. What is not happening? So there's all of these self-imposed pressures, which, yeah, sometimes are very unrealistic. And try as I might, and whether I like to admit it or not, Tanzania, my coming back to Tanzania plays a very big role in how intense or how much pressure I put on myself. Now, I know for a fact I'm not the only one. How would you advise me to shut some of those losses down?
I think
Like practically, not theoretically, because when it comes to theory, I understand.
practically
I can promise
how
you
to not set unrealistic expectations.
Yeah, if you look at my LinkedIn, like I would write.
But the thing is that I was told by one of my mentors is that if something is in your mind, is that your mind believes you can do it.
Yes.
So it's a matter of setting your goals and how you're going to achieve them. Start with baby steps. We just don't appreciate baby steps. For example, let's say you want to read 50 books this year. 50 is a big number in terms of reading books. Let's say the books are 700 pages, but you read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You don't appreciate like, wow, there's 40 left, but you're not looking at the fact that you already read 10. You can
that
read,
you wouldn't have done before.
Exactly. So, and also, I believe in setting unrealistic expectation because, for example, let's say I say maybe I want to make 100 million in this month or this year. I know for a fact I'm gonna pressure myself to make 100. Even if I don't make 100, I'll make 70. You know, so
and for the sun land among the stars.
Exactly. So you'll get to a point where even if that little gap that is there, you're gonna appreciate like, oh, you know what? I'll complete this gap maybe next year, or add more because okay, I've done 70. Why did I not get the 30? It was easier to ask those questions that you're saying are unrealistic and answer them.
I mean, that is practical. Like when I think about it, yes, it is doable. So is it, how do I phrase this question? My struggle would be, I understand that. And I think I could put it to practice. This term of analysis paralysis. I deal with that a lot, right? As you said, and I've heard that before. Compartmentalize, prioritize your projects, your thoughts, and all of that. Journal. I do that. I have notebooks and notebooks of all the things I want to do. My task app is ridiculous with deadlines and all of that. And I come to the end of the week and I'm looking at all the things I'm supposed to have done this week. And I'm like, oh my God, I didn't do that. I forgot about that. I did not respond to Montey. You know how terrible I am with responding to texts, you know, things like that. And something like that is very basic. I have to put it in my to-do list, like remember to reply to texts, right? But then I get to the end of the day and I'm so exhausted and I just want to like not touch my phone, right? So at the end of the week, my workload is so, the things that I have not done that I could have done with the baby steps that I took by jotting down what I needed to do, I still haven't done 80% of that. And so I'll be sitting there and wondering, where am I failing? Why am I failing? What about this is so difficult that I'm failing? And this might be a small example, but that has to do with a lot of some of the experiences that had to do with coming back. You've set your goals that by this date or by this period, I should have a job because I studied for this. I have a master's in this. I should have, you know, a good job in a bank, in something, but you come here and none of the steps that you had put in place are panning out. And this is something that often leads to discouragement. And some of the people I've spoken to, I had to learn that, you know, mental health is not just like a feminine problem. I've had guy friends who've come to Tanzania and struggled to find work, struggle to get their businesses off the ground because what they expected to do, perhaps it had to do with, doing their own market research, but also those expectations that she set based on what she thought Tanzania was, and then the reality on the ground. So you find all of these challenges is compounding on this person to the point that it takes that mental toll on them.
Yeah.
And for this person, maybe somebody else is fortunate enough to have like residency, in wherever it is that they grew up, but other people don't have that option. They've lived out there for years and years on end, but they never had residency. They just had maybe study permits, work permits. So that is expired. They have to make Tanzania work. And so I've seen cases where there's one particular one which is actually really sad for me, because this guy had every potential in the book to be something great. But I look at him right now, he's constantly drugged out. He had to turn to drugs and drinking and all of that. First, I guess that is me doing the whole psychoanalysis on him as a friend, but I felt there was that pressure to fit in to the Tanzanian society that he found, which is very different from his upbringing. And because of that, he felt like he had so much he needed to prove to his friends. So his business plans took a hit. His work, job, search efforts took a hit. And in as much as I want to say that, blame him, you didn't try hard enough and all of that, I understand firsthand how challenging this reintegration back home can be for some people, because I've lived it. Maybe his coping mechanisms weren't so great.
Yeah.
So yes, theoretically and yes, practically, you set the baby steps. You plan out. You do those smart planning. Specific, measurable, actionable. You time-bound plans. We do all of that on paper, but when you go out there, it's so different.
It's true.
You don't meet the deadlines that you set for yourself. It's not as measurable, whether you have all these metrics to measure whatever it is that you're doing, but that's not the reality on the ground. And so, unfortunately, that makes some of these reintegration stories really sad, really difficult. It could be in work, it could be in businesses, it could be family, relationships, social lives, all of that. Now, when you meet somebody like that, how do you help them cope? Have you ever met somebody like that, by the way?
Yeah, I have. And, it's true what you say. We men, we believe that we shouldn't discuss about mental health, and we shouldn't sit out there and start discussing what we're going through, unless maybe it's your very close friend. However, I have learned that it is important to speak up. End of the day, mental health is real. You can be going through something, but you just vocalizing it or speaking about it can literally solve 50% of it, or even say 99% of it, because
get it off your chest.
Get it off your chest. Whether it's a friend or whether it's your girlfriend, your wife, your mom, your dad, when you just get it out of your chest, you never know how someone could help you.
Yeah.
Right? And sometimes our egos play a very big role. You said about proving to friends that, I'm going to go back to Tanzania. I'm going to create this business. It's going to boom. We sit there because we told our friends we're going to do it. We're going to 100% do it.
Yeah.
Now you're setting pressure on yourself, and your ego is not going to allow you to go back and seek help, maybe, for example, because you think you're going to do it yourself.
Yeah.
Now, if, let's say, someone did come to me and tell me that was what they're going through, I'll speak more on the business side of things. If someone told me that's what they're going through, I don't think there's any rich person or wealthy or millionaire or billionaire that started all their businesses and every business they did worked out.
Yeah.
If someone can name one, I'd like to ask them a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Because myself, I've started doing business, even some business that my parents didn't know, since I was 16, 15, going to school, selling things, or, doing side hustles with my friends. and not all of them work. Sometimes you lose money,
Yeah.
but you just have to. That's why they say sometimes you can't put all your eggs in one basket. Sometimes you start something. This is the game plan. This is what you're going to do. I have an example. Is that I was with one of my uncles / my mentor, and he was telling me about a business he started with his friends. And the business that they started was, they invested a lot of money, and they're expecting for it to boom because it was a time that business was supposed to blow up. And during that time, they were just seeing loss and loss and loss. And they had invited someone or an expert to come do an analysis of the business.
Yeah.
And then the analyst said that this business is not going to work out. You're going to have to close now, so you cut more losses.
Yeah.
And they closed it. So that's just a simple example of that. Sometimes if something you're seeing, kwa Kiswahili nasema tunapenda kuforce.
Dig your feet in, yeah.
Yes, it's not working, but you want to force it.
Yeah.
If something is not working, just let it go and try move to the next
But
thing.
that's really difficult, by the way, because somebody's argument would be, I've spent so much time, I've invested so much into this. You see that even in relationships.
It's
People,
true.
yeah, people come to
Some
blows
people get
because
married because they believe they were together for too long.
exactly. I've invested way too much time. I'm not starting over.
It's true, but then if it's not that, then go seek help. When I say seek help, not in a bad way, I mean seek help as in seek advice.
Yeah.
Or, there's a lot of things that we don't know that are going on in our country, for example. When we did our first event, Connectors Club, we had invited a minister. And one of the questions that were asked was that the person who asked the question was an upcoming artist. He said, as a country, I don't think we're being us, this generation, we don't think we're being helped to pursue our dreams, whether it's sports, whether it's music. We're not being supported.
Yeah.
And it was something I personally didn't know as well. He said, did you know that if you go to your local council and you go tell them about your dream and you seek maybe a loan or a funding for your dream, you could potentially get it?
Potentially.
It's not guaranteed, because at the end of the day, if it's not
I mean, yes.
Yes.
Is that even public knowledge, though? Because I'm also learning about this now.
I didn't know about it too. I mean, I knew that if
take notes.
you could go and then you could get a loan and fund whatever you're doing, and pay back slowly, because that's one of the ways of making sure that vijana are now progressing into their dreams or their businesses, etc., etc. I mean, right now we saw that the ministry has allocated some funds for vijana to go and apply.
Yeah.
So some of these things we don't know. Maybe the government could do a better job at promoting it, or we could do a better job at learning about these things.
Yeah.
So, for example, let's say the person who's doing the business was now, he's invested so much, there's no money left, but something is working, right? He could go there and seek that help and get the funding and progress the business. So, as you can see, I said something you didn't know.
Yeah.
So how many people don't know about that? I didn't know about this before this. So how many people don't know about that too? You know? That's why I said seeking help or advice, or attending these forums, attending networking events. You never know who you're going to meet.
Oh, yeah. That's actually a very good point. I am going to do a bit of research into this, because I'm 100% sure ni wengi sana, a lot of us are not aware that that's even an option.
Yeah.
That, your local government, besides getting your letters to open a bank account,
Yeah.
because that's what we know them for. Go get your letter. You've had an incident at home, they help resolve. But I had no idea that they could actually be helpful in, would there be criteria, like whatever it is you're doing has to be for that specific community?
Now, I don't want to say something that I'm not sure of.
Okay.
However, that's why I suggest if someone's really interested, to do further research, because on that day, that's when I learned about it. And unfortunately, I didn't do much research into it, but
let me note that down.
There's also the Ministry of Vijana that are allocating some funds, a lot of money that they've allocated those funds for you to go apply.
Look into local government loans. I need to look into that kwakweli, because I feel like a lot of us who definitely are struggling unnecessarily, and opportunities are there, plenty. We just don't know how to exploit them or even seek them out. We don't ask the right questions either, because I think it's one thing to meet the right people. It's another to ask the right questions. You can ask the right question, and it's not the people that could help you, but they could point you in the direction you need to go. That's very helpful. Thank you. I will definitely look into that. Now,
but one thing I will add on is attending networking events.
Oh yeah.
For example, without me meeting Mr. Bakari, we probably wouldn't have known each other.
True.
This wouldn't have happened.
By the way, you're really downplaying this. I thought about that earlier and then I forgot to mention it. You're really downplaying this. Like, you guys are the only ones who brought Vusi to TZ.
Yeah.
Like, that was big.
We did our best.
No, guy, no. Don't do the whole humble, like, talk about that.
Bringing Vusi?
Yeah, because I a lot of people would want to meet him. He's such a mentor. He's the motivational speeches and all. And I don't even like motivational speeches.
Yeah.
Like, the moment somebody starts, I'm like, yeah, no, let's not do that.
Yeah.
You know? But there's something about being in the room with somebody who you would otherwise just settle for watching online, and just access to this person would cost thousands of dollars, you know? So that was big for Tanzanian youth. You guys did that. You guys did that. That was amazing. And you're not talking about it enough. Like, you should be riding that wave. I'd be riding that wave for maybe until I bring Beyonce. But I'd ride the hell out of that wave.
I mean, it was a very good experience bringing Vusi because...
And that was through Connectors Club.
Yeah, it was
right?
through Connectors Club.
Yeah.
So before that, no one... Vusi did come to Tanzania, but it was through a telecom company.
Yeah.
And I think it was for themselves.
Yeah.
So technically, we're the first to bring for the audience. And
young people. Emphasis on young people.
It was
emphasis on the youth. Because you would expect, something like that to come from like a bank, top-notch executives. But just, vijana.
It was a very good experience.
Yeah.
I learned a lot during that.
I remember seeing the Nini Naito. The clip of him congratulating you, Pale, you being a young dude and all that, and you're there in your suit. I was like, oh, that's adorable. But that was really cool.
Yeah.
That was really cool. And I genuinely think you should ride that wave. And I think...
We brought him twice, by the way.
Huh?
We brought him twice.
You brought him twice?
He came. We did another event recently.
Why wasn't I invited?
It was a short notice event.
When was this?
It was...
You have my number. What do you mean short notice event?
It was November?
Last year.
Yeah, it was during the event of... He came for an event. So with him coming, we decided to align our schedule and do an event. It was a very intimate event. Only 50, 60 people that attended.
I'm so not happy right now.
It was very... And it was like a 5-hour masterclass.
Did you advertise that?
Yeah, we did.
We did.
But it was a very short notice event. It was very short notice. We had some of your ex-colleagues attend.
And I was not on that guest list. Okay,
Next time.
We're going to hammer this one outside because nope, no way. You're talking about you and you're telling me that you brought him twice? Oh, wow. Okay, anyway, so now back to Connectors Club, right? You say you're connecting people and all of that. The Vusi, both Vusi events. Oh, so not cool. I can't even hype you up right now because I missed the last one. And we knew each other by then. No, that's not cool. Anyway, so now bringing in the youth and platforms like that, there's also the aspect of it costs quite a lot to attend networking events, right? You need to know people. You need to know what events are happening where. If you're broke, how do you get into some of these events? So, someone looking to have that kind of networking access, how would you advise them? How can they go about that?
Where there's a will, there's a way.
I mean, yeah, I could rob a bank, but I don't look good in prison outfit.
But two is that since starting Connectors Club, the reason why we started Connectors Club is that one is because obviously I told you that at the beginning is that we were receiving a lot of messages that we're learning a lot through our phones, meaning we're watching your episodes or we're watching on our TVs, but where's the action? Like you tell us about networking, you tell us about connecting. Where's the action? We want to see these people that you're inviting. So that's one of the reasons we started. Secondly, it was like, if us, Villana, we're paying 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100 millions to attend clubs, why don't we start a club that people, like-minded individuals, come connect and share opportunities, correct? Yeah. So that's when we started, and that's where it came from. And when we started, our tickets were going as cheap as 20,000. Some people, I'd say, 95% of the people paid, the people who attended. 5% are people who are very much interested in networking and learning from other people. They send you a very nice, well-written message saying to you, like, listen, I really want to learn, I really want to come, I do XYZ, however, I'm not in the space to pay that amount. Yeah. And I really want to attend. And end of the day, Connectors Club is for the people. So you allow them to come. That's why I say, well, there's a will, there's a way. If you really want to attend an event, there's ways you can go about it. Yeah. Because you can't tell me that you can go to a club, but you can't say you're going to attend a networking event. And we've seen so many stories where, how many times do we see stories of someone saying, I got this job because I went out of my way and I dropped the letter at the boss's office, or I sent an email to the boss and the boss allowed me to come for an interview. So if you really wanted to attend, you don't have the money, why don't you do something like that? Yeah. Yeah. And through Connectors Club, we've managed to do different things, create opportunities. Someone got into a partnership with someone and they started the business in China. Someone got a job through Connectors Club. So a lot of people, someone learned about the local government funding.
By someone, we mean me.
Yeah, there's you, there's him, the person who asked. We've also done a Shark Tank themed panel one time that we did it, and someone won an award, and also they were told by the public figure that was there to come to his office because we like your business idea. So we've created all of those opportunities. So it's not just about networking, but we're also creating opportunities. We're also creating job opportunities. Yeah. So
what are the plans for this year? We're already in June, essentially.
We just finished a tech event this month and was very productive. A lot of good feedback, a lot of networking, a lot of learning. Now we're going to sit back again and plan for the rest of the year and see how it's going to go. We've got something we need to discuss.
Sure.
And hopefully it comes to fruition, because I believe we talked about, I don't want to say what it is, but we talked about a bit about it earlier.
Stay tuned, Joe.
We talked about a bit about it earlier, and I believe a lot of people would love to attend such an event.
Yeah. So the events are not just like corporate themed, corporate style type of events. Do you have social gatherings? We come back, kick back, have a drink?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet. So Connectors Club is around, let's say, a year and a half, 2 year old. So we started with events, so we focus on first perfecting our events. So after events, now you have to sit back and now read the game again and say what people really want, because now you have an audience. Now you have people who are really interested in connecting and the opportunities. So now you create social gatherings. We started slowly with doing monthly webinars where we invite someone, for example, who's in finance, come talk about finance so we can all learn. And also the fee that we charge most of the time is to show commitment.
Yeah.
Because if something is free, no one takes it serious.
You probably even won't remember.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if you pay for something, you're gonna make it worth your time.
Sure.
Ask questions, understand, network.
At the very least, show up.
Exactly, because you paid.
Yeah. Oh, I had a question and then it kind of just slipped my mind. I hope it comes back. I hope it comes back. All right. So we're almost rounding up. We've yapped quite a lot for two people. I want to play a little game. Okay. I want to play a little game. Don't overthink it.
It's called Don't Overthink It.
I'm telling you not to overthink it.
Okay.
Don't overthink it. But how should I put this? Let's say I'm giving you diplomatic immunity.
Okay.
Okay. And guys, give him diplomatic immunity. Please don't come for him in the comment section. Don't come for him in the comment section. So, diplomatic immunity, right? Based on your experience coming back home, even just, being here in today's day and age. Okay. Which of these things do you think people should be banned from doing?
Okay.
Socially.
Okay.
All right. Cheesy style, yeah? Showing up late.
It should be banned.
Should it or should it not?
It should 100% be banned. I've never, it's very rare for someone to come on time. I mean, I know today I came late, but you know why I came late.
Yeah, that's why I started with that one.
Because I know it's like, it was
that's why I started with that one.
It was a dig to me. But people always show up late.
Okay.
But I've come to learn, an ambassador told me once, is like, if you don't respect my time, I'm not going to respect you.
True.
But you understand why I was late.
Yeah. Okay. This one is also a dig to you. Voice notes longer than 3 minutes.
Have I ever sent a voice no longer than 3 minutes to you?
How long was the last voice note?
A minute. They should definitely be banned. I don't like voice notes.
But I think this one is a dig mostly to my mom, because my mom will send me a voice note for like 9 minutes.
I have a friend who sent me a voice note once of 8 minutes.
Yeah. I listen to my mother's voice notes in, like I'm watching a series. I need to break it down in bits. Like I will listen for like 3 minutes. I'm like, I'm going to continue later. Yeah. And then she will call me. She's like, I sent you something. Did you listen? And I'm like, oh yeah.
Give me some time.
Not done. I'll get back to you just now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Asking someone's salary, is that even a thing?
It is a thing, but I feel like
people
those
ask
people,
how much you make.
They just like to pocket watch.
Really?
Yes, and it should be banned because it's nothing that you should know.
I think I've only had one weird dude asking me how much I make.
I don't think it's I think that
and
goes,
I think
that
my
goes
reaction
in the
was,
whole world.
Yeah, and I looked at him like, needless to say, he did not appreciate that. Calling without texting first.
Shouldn't be banned.
It should be banned.
No,
why are you calling? Oh my God.
So you don't like calls?
Please don't call me.
Oh, I don't think it should be banned.
Like,
but it depends who's calling you.
No. Do you understand when I tell you that I would ignore my parents on calls?
I hope they
watch.
I hope they're seeing this.
Oh, they definitely watch this.
I hope they see this and they see what you do.
Oh, they definitely watch this, because I'm not very good with phone calls. Text me. So my dad actually texts me. It's like, I will call you tomorrow. I'll call you at 5 p.m. Like, he gives me an exact time and he sticks to it.
Yeah.
Like, if you do that, I'm good. Because I need to mentally prepare myself. So I think that should be banned. Like, don't call me before. And then there's those who actually do video calls. That's even worse. What are you trying to catch me doing? What are you trying to find out?
What are you doing right
Why
now?
are you video calling me?
Yeah.
Why are you video calling me? And then they call you and they're like, are you busy? It depends. What do you want? All right. Texting pictures of food before eating.
Texting pictures of food.
Taking pictures of food. And
it shouldn't. You're just appreciating the food.
Hold up. Doesn't your wife take?
Yeah. I mean, you're appreciating the food.
So it shouldn't be banned.
It shouldn't.
What if you're like really hungry?
Oh, I'm more. I like aesthetics, so I'll let you
that
take
is so
the picture.
nice.
So
I don't. I have to count. Like, I can count the food pics that I have.
sometimes you're appreciating.
I have to count my food pics and my photos with friends. I'm a more of in the moment kind of person.
So do you have a photographic memory?
I do.
Okay.
Extremely, because I've had people tell me, oh yeah, this happened. I'm like, oh, that did not happen.
Because
I remember the entire conversation word for word.
My memory is my phone.
Yeah.
So
No, I remember, like, I would remember what you said 3 years ago on Tuesday, Sinyuta Rengapi, at what time.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm more of an in the moment kind
That's
of person. The moment we start doing this, I zone out. Because why did you invite me if you're going to spend so much time on the phone?
Yeah.
You know? So I think that should absolutely
be banned.
Because that is unnecessary. Yeah. So we're wrapping up right now, and there always has to be a final word, right? As I said earlier, our goal is to create a safe space for people to vent, for people to learn from one another. A lot of the conversations that we have, we try to have with people who not just experience this, but are also kind of have the authority to speak on certain things.
Yeah.
I know we touched a little bit on, mental health, but that does not mean you're an expert. That is more from a male perspective. And I think for this particular season of Hello Tanzania, I'm going to talk heavily on mental health where men are concerned. I am trying to ring onto this table my guy friends. It's proving challenging.
Yeah.
Because I feel their stories have been very deep. Well, maybe not even that deep, because they talk to me. So I know some of these things are not as deep as they make them, but because they're not talking, they're not opening up, they're not seeking help. Frustration, stress, terrible coping mechanisms, So I'm trying. I think this particular season of Hello Tanzania, I will be heavily leaning into mental health conversations, especially where men are concerned. And also, we're going into Father's Day, season next month. So we might as well talk about men and mental health, right? So now, as we're wrapping up, you touched on a lot of things. What is the biggest or the most important piece of advice that you could give somebody who's coming back home? Well, multi-dimensional piece of advice. Coming to open a business, coming to join the workspace, coming and figuring out, the networking, the social side of things in Tanzania. All of those, just as wide as you can go. What are some of the things that you think people need to be cautious about, people need to be aware of, people need to start practicing before they even come home?
One, as I said earlier, is to do your market research or whatever you want to come do. Two is get to know as many people as you can. You need to know everyone in every space that your business is involved in. Your business is going to be definitely involved in tax. You need to know people in the tax place, because now you need to know so they can also help you understand where you maybe at some point where you go wrong.
Yeah.
Brella, you need to know the rules and regulations of whatever you're coming to do.
Yeah.
Understand the rules, the law of the country in terms of business. But the biggest thing or the biggest advice I can give is that have a wide range of network. Because, for example, let's say I have a business I want to push. Now I know Lucy, right? I can reach out to Lucy and say, hey, I want to do XYZ. How do you suggest I go about it? Like, oh, okay, you can do this at the Citizen, for example. It will be pushed like this and this and this. This is how you can go about it. Yeah. You'll give me advice as a friend, right?
I would charge you.
100% being charged on the charging part, 100%.
Yeah.
But point being is that I have a friend in media that I can talk to and advise on how. Maybe you can advise me on this is how you should position it.
Yeah.
This is how you should take it out for people to be catchy.
Yeah.
I have friends in tax. Oh, I have a tax problem. How should I go about it? Help me understand.
Yeah.
I have lawyers who are my friends. Oh, there's a problem here. What should I do? So do your market research, create a wide range of network. And the third, always seek advice. But listen to the advice that you feel like you need. Don't listen to every advice.
True.
Some advice just
I learned that the hard way.
Yep.
Everybody has advice to give.
And what I also came to learn is that just because someone is older does not mean they can give you wise advice.
True.
They can give you good advice.
But like Tanzania is such a social community, and unfortunately that's what you walk into, because Lucy is way, way older than this person, then that means that whatever advice she gives you, then you should probably run with that. But chances are I'm not as smart as I portray myself to be.
Yeah.
Right? And just because I'm older
does not mean you know everything.
Just like respect, here we are taught that, you're taught that somebody that's older than you have to respect, you have to do shikamo. I learned shikamo. I mean, I knew shikamo, right? But I never used to give it. And here I learned that you go into the workplace and you give people shikamo. I still struggle with that. Because I'm like, good morning. What do you mean, shikamo?
You're going to get a lot of hate comments about that.
I get that. I'm good with that. By the way, that's one thing I've actually made my peace with, because I had to learn that there were certain instances where whatever, let's say I walk into a room, right? And in that room, some of the people who report to me are way older than me. So how am I supposed to say, shikamo Montey, kaka Montey, shikamo? And then now I proceed to give you instructions on what to do.
So you start with good morning.
Good morning, yeah. Good morning. At the end of the day, I'm going to assess your performance. So whether you like the fact that I'm giving you shikamo or not, actually, I'm not obliged to. But I learned that was actually a culture shock. Like, people give each other shikamo at work. For me, shikamo was quite optional, by the way, yeah? Growing up, it was quite an optional thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, my parents is good morning, hi mom, hi dad. And then when it comes to Tanzania, you have the extended relatives look at you like, what do you mean, hi mom? Watoto hamna tabia. So yeah, the respect aspect, the networking is very important, because we are such a tech savvy generation, and when we come back we assume that you can do everything on your phone.
You still have to talk.
But Tanzania is so different. You actually need to talk to people. You need to go out there. You need to play nice with everybody. Not every traffic stop is going to be resolved by you paying a ticket and walking away. Talk to the person nicely. They might let you off. Guys, I'm not condoning corruption. I'm not condoning corruption. My point just is that you gotta learn to talk to people. You gotta be like, and mind you, this is coming from me, one of the most antisocial, introverted people you're going to meet. But I had to learn that the hard way. Came with the job, came with now being a team leader. I was never in front of the camera. I thrived behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And then I came here and Mpoki would be like, oh, you're doing 1, 2, 3 in front of a camera. And so that meant I have to go talk to so many people to put that whole thing together. And I'm like, absolutely not. And you'll be like, oh, you're definitely doing it.
Yeah.
And, so I had to learn how to talk to people. So yeah, that's actually very, very good advice. When you're coming from environments where you're used to working remotely or you're used to networking online, going out can actually be quite intimidating in Tizzy.
It's very true.
It is very intimidating.
But it's a skill. Networking is not something I mean, some people are born to speak.
Yeah.
But it's also a skill. And that's what for example, that's one of the episodes we talked about in my on Destiny podcast, because people ask like, okay, you guys are doing networking events.
Make Your Own Destiny.
Yeah, it's called MYOD. So it's Make Your Own Destiny podcast.
You don't want to know what I thought.
What did you think it was?
No, not on camera, please.
No, you can say it.
Nope, absolutely not. My mind is quite scary, so let's not traumatize my audience right now.
But yeah, so that's one of the episodes we talked about, like networking. So you network, and how can you network, what to do, It's not like, for example, myself, is that some people could say that I'm the best at networking, or some people could say I'm not. But for me personally, I had to learn to network. Oh, when I go there, I have to say hi. Oh, and I go there, you don't start with the problem, you start with the solution, or you start with complimenting them, or you start with doing this. So it's a skill.
One which that I have to be honest, I'm still learning, because I would go to networking events, and after I've greeted like the few people that I know, you'd find me like this.
Yeah, I mean, the social battery can...
mine drains out so fast.
Yeah.
So fast. But yeah, this has been a very interesting conversation. I hope you guys caught something that you could use. Thank you for making the time.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, we're definitely going to be talking some more. And just to emphasize, I am still not happy that I missed the Vusi event in November. You have my number.
It's November, so we can make
November,
it up in November.
November is far, man.
No, when we're doing the November.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You're like dropping.
Yeah, so now we have to do it.
Guys, this is a verbal contract online. I will not leave it down.
So November, there's something coming. Stay tuned.
Awesome. So, as I say, thank you so much for making the time. We have run way past what we had agreed to do, but this was great. You guys stay tuned. This conversation will be dropping in the near future. Kuna neno nilikuwa nimeliwaza la Kiswahili, but I would have ruined the whole vibe. But yes, coming up soon. Stay tuned. Thank you for always engaging with us. You know, without you guys watching, I don't know, tungekuwa wapi at this point. But yeah, yeah, the conversation is absolutely worthwhile. So yeah, until next time, thank you for paying attention and bye.
Bye bye.